Aherne, is there any chance this is my son Malcolm? Is there any chance of a little kiss? Oh my, come on, Malcolm!
Thank you.
You know, could you smell Old Spice? He put his dad's aftershave on to meet you.
Lovely.
Do you know what he'll be doing now backstage? You know what he'll be doing? He'll be blushing. I can guarantee he'll be sat there with his big purple head in his hands.
Well, those BBC cameras put years on you. Here she is, looking decades younger, the creator of Mrs. Merton, the wonderful Caroline Aherne. We've got to start at the beginning, Caroline. Where did Mrs. Merton come from?
It's just me with a wig on. No, I started off doing it on radio, you know, on a local radio station. And I did it as an agony aunt at first, and then I did it on local telly. And then it just went from there, really.
What I love about the show is that, as well as quite rightly puncturing the pomposity of some of the guests, it can be either absolutely filthy or something you can watch with your nan or your auntie. It works on both those levels. But have you ever gone too far and upset your own mum or any relatives? Because I do wonder whether the character's based on, say, a stray auntie in Ireland or something.
The great thing about my mum is a lot of it just, well, most of it just goes over her head, you know, she doesn't see any of that, the purple head bit just then. She just was thinking, oh, you know, how funny that was, his purple head.
Was that rude then, the purple head?
No, and no, but and a lot of the audience, you know, they just laugh along and laugh at anything, really.
Who would be your dream guest who you haven't managed to get hold of yet?
I would love Richard and Judy on. We're always asking them.
Because you were on Richard and Judy in
Yeah,
the early hours of Friday morning, weren't you?
Yeah, and they won't come on. And I'd like Margaret Thatcher. And
because presumably she's a bit of a hero of Mrs. Merton's, is she?
yeah, she thinks she's great. Yeah, yeah.
What would you ask Margaret Thatcher? What would Mrs. Merton ask her, do you think?
Oh, I haven't a clue. I haven't thought of that. Sorry.
But, apart from thanking you for giving us Channel 4, of course.
Yeah.
And okay, so, and also I heard you'd like to get Michael Barrymore.
Yeah.
Why
yeah.
Michael?
I think he's brilliant. I think he's. I'd just like to meet him myself, really.
So I did wonder whether Malcolm would like to give Michael a kiss as well as giving Joanna Lumley a kiss. Do you think?
I think Michael would prefer it more.
Do you ever regret some of the things you've said to people? Because you can be a little harsh,
No.
like Debbie McGee and even Joanna Lumley, when you said, "Oh, you were the force's sweetheart." Yeah. Do you ever ask, just think, "Oh, it's the characters kind of possessed me like a devil"?
No, I mean, you know, we're always really careful when we're thinking about it. You know, I'd hate to really upset anybody. No, I would. I mean, you know, I think it's brilliant that people can laugh at themselves and stuff, but I would hate anybody to be really upset. And nobody really has been upset, you know, or walked away afterwards and not, you know, come to the party or something.
Now, you've committed the thoughts of Mrs. Merton to paper. It's a book called Mrs. Merton's World of Television.
Yeah.
And the first thing that strikes you on picking it up is, of course, you've managed to get Mrs. Merton's mouth like a cat's bum. Is that a kind of genetic thing? Is it cosmetic? How do you, is that kind of...
No, that's my actual mouth. It's like...
But it's not the gob you've got on there.
It's not the same gob.
Is it?
Yeah.
How do you make it so small? So it's natural, is it?
Yeah, it's
completely
my own
natural.
mouth.
Now, is it a little bit of a cruel book? I think,
No.
because you cast aspersions on Terry Christian's current lack of a TV job, and also my mate Danny Baker is described in there as a fat, bald fool. Is this a belief held by yourself?
No. I must have been feeling a bit off that day. No, he's
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 porky.
bald, isn't he?
He's porky, and he can be a bit foolish. And one of the great, I mean, there's great photo gags in the book, and if I can find this one very quickly, it's when you get the chance to, Mrs. Merton snogs one of her idols.
Oh, Des Lynam.
And that's Des Lynam. But on the other page, so there's Mrs. Merton. When you close the book, Mrs. Merton's lips touch there. But on the other page, the Spice Girls kiss something rather different. Now, you know, that means the Spice Girls won't be coming on the show, presumably.
I know, yeah.
When you took Mrs. Merton to Las Vegas, was that difficult working to an American audience?
Oh, yeah, because they hated me. You know, they really did. Because at first we thought we'd have, like, all Americans and then all Brits. And but they don't understand irony over there, and you know, when I said any questions, all I'll ask questions, but the Americans would just sort of put their hands up. When I say any questions, they put their hands up and go, "I think you're beautiful," you know, to the guest or something. That was not a question. And so they just didn't like me, and they all started talking. All the Americans started talking, and some of them started walking out.
How did that feel, though, Caroline, when you're driving down, you know, the strip in Las Vegas, and they've got like Engelbert Humperdinck, Wayne Newton, Steve Martin, and Mrs. Merton? Was that like your showbiz dream come true?
Oh no, it was a nightmare. It was because we took all those old people with us. You know, we took about 60, and they were all getting lost, and you know, and. But it was funny because we took a nurse with us as well, you know, in case anything happened to them. And they were all just getting their ears syringed every day, you know, with the wax out their ears. Well, listen, making the most of it.
If the licence payer's paying for it, get it done while you're out there. Do you have to stop the recording a lot for them to take extra wee breaks and stuff?
No, they're very good. They're very well trained.
Well behaved and housebroken like yourself.
We did one show, I think it was when Vic and Bob were on, and we couldn't show it because we all just couldn't stop laughing. But I was talking away to them, and one of the old ladies in front was just thought, well, you know, didn't really get them, and she just decided to go to the toilet, you know, and she was sat right, you know, behind them, and you just saw her, she just put a coat on and went out to the toilet.
Everyone's a critic. Thank you for coming along. The book's called Mrs. Merton's World of Television. The wonderful Caroline Aherne, ladies and gentlemen. And now, number 2 from tonight's band, Texas. It's their current single. It's a corker. It's Put Your Arms Around Me.